With the death of Antonin Scalia, everyone's talking about whether and who Barack Obama should appoint to fill his place on the U.S. Supreme Court. Whoever he appoints, the Senate has to approve, and Republican senators have said Obama should not appoint anyone at all. They seem to deny his constitutional obligation. Mitch McConnell said that the American people should have their voice in the matter. But just how is their voice heard in the Senate anyway? There are currently 54 Republicans and 46 Democrats in the Senate. You would think that represents the wishes of 54% and 46% of American voters, respectively, but you'd be wrong. Over the election cycle leading to the current makeup of the Senate, more than 92 million people cast votes for Republican candidates. But in the same cycle, over 96 million people cast votes for Democrats. So roughly 3.5 million more people cast votes for Democrats than for Republicans. But what really matters are the people who got elected to the Senate, right? Well, of those members currently serving in the Senate, Republicans received over 46 million votes, but Democrats received over 65 million votes. So, among the senators currently serving in the Senate, over 18 million more votes were cast for Democrats than for Republicans. In other words, Republicans received 42% of the winning votes and Democrats received 58% of the winning votes. But in the math of the U.S. Senate, 42% equals 54 and 58% equals 46. How does that work? There are 50 states, and each state gets 2 senators, no matter how many citizens live there. For example, the tiniest state, Wyoming, gets just as many senators as the largest state, California. In the eyes of the Senate, the 586,000 people in Wyoming are equal to the 39 million people in California. In effect, a citizen from Wyoming has more say in the next Supreme Court justice than 65 citizens from California. Or put another way, the 38 million citizens of these 14 states get 28 votes in the Senate, while the 39 million citizens of California get just 2. In fact, while the citizens of Alaska get 2 senators, the citizens of Washington, D.C. get no senators at all. That's right, they're not allowed to vote for the Senate. And just for the record, the 3 million citizens of Iowa get 2 senators, but the 3 million citizens of Puerto Rico get no senator at all. They don't even get to vote for president. Out of the over 300 million citizens in the United States, just about 150 million of them live in states represented by Republicans, while over 170 million of them live in states represented by Democrats. Which means that over 20 million more people should have their voices heard through Democrats rather than Republicans. And that's not even counting the citizens of D.C. or Puerto Rico. And remember those winning votes Republicans and Democrats received in the Senate? Well, it turns out that Barack Obama received more votes than either group combined. And it's his responsibility as president to nominate judges to the Supreme Court for another 11 months. But according to Republicans, the 46 million people who voted for them should have more say than the 65 million who voted for either Democrats or the president. By any measure, far more citizens have expressed their voice in support of Democratic wishes for the next member of the Supreme Court. But in the logic of the U.S. Senate, the only voices who count are those of senators.